Hey everyone, thank you for joining us here today. My name is Greg Hemmer. I'm the head of ecosystem and fundraising at Shardeum. If this is your first time viewing one of our quarterly updates, every quarter we come together to live stream and present the progress we made in our prior quarter. It's very important to us to, you know, remain open and share our progress from the Shardeum Foundation with the community. So today we'll be going through the um, progress that Shardeum Foundation has made in Q1 of 2023. During this presentation, we'll provide updates on marketing, business, people operations, ecosystem, and technology progress. We'll talk about our focus for the upcoming quarter. Most exciting, what everyone's waiting for, we'll discuss the mainnet timeline, and we'll make sure we give time to answer any questions you have. So during today's presentation, please feel free to post your questions in the chat on the YouTube live stream, and we'll get to those at the end. Without further ado, here's Nishal, Shardeum's co-founder. Take it away, Nishal.
Thanks, Greg. Hey, everyone. We're so glad to be here. And I think the Q1 update for this year is a little delayed. It's also because of all the madness around the Sphinx update. There was a lot of work, and the teams have all been busy pushing out new updates consistently. But yeah, here we are. We've got some great numbers, and I would love to give a brief about how we progressed in terms of our community outreach and how the community has been growing really rapidly, and some of the programs that we've launched in the last several months. I would love to start with this program, what we call as the Shardeum Borderless program, where the objective was, how do you really spread the information about decentralization and Shardeum to different geographies and to different sections of people who do not read English. And the idea was that let's look for contributors who want to write about Shardeum in their own languages. And we were surprised by the kind of response that we got. We got over 400 blog submissions in different languages from 40 plus countries. That's insane, and I'm pretty sure this program will continue to increase, and we'll be able to have information about Shardeum not just in English, in hopefully in every language that you can think of through this program. We've got some amazing growth in terms of our newsletter. You can see we've crossed over 90,000 newsletter subscribers, and the growth has been consistent every month. Proof of community is something that I think it was one of the earliest programs that we launched. And when we launched Proof of Community, we were just thinking about, having maybe one meetup or two meetup just to get people together so that they can, find like-minded people in their cities. And the kind of response that we got, we continued running this program, and we've crossed, I think, over 100 proof of community events back in March, and until today, I think we've crossed over 173 proof of community events with thousands of people attending these events across different countries. In fact, we've touched about 5 countries through these physical proof of community events, and we've covered over 60 cities until now. But in the last in the last quarter, we've crossed about 17 cities. The idea is to continue to grow the program to more cities and to more countries, and that's where the Super Shardian Proof of Community program comes into the picture. We realized one of the best ways to scale the proof of community events is not by just creating or expanding our team, but to give the power of running proof of community over to the community, to all of you. And the Super Shardium program is a step in that direction. where if you happen to be keen on running your own proof of community event, you could just reach out to us and we'll help you run them in your own city. And I think it's a win-win situation for the Shardeum community, where you get to run the events. We'll get to help you run those events on your own. And this program has been doing really well until now. Apart from that, I think I'll go over to the launch, the Sphinx launch, where we had, I think, one of the highest number of people viewing that launch event. And we conducted that in over 17 cities and 10 countries. Countries like India, Ukraine, Africa, Russia, Indonesia. People around the world joined for the Sphinx launch party. It was an amazing, uh, I would say, collaboration which happened globally for Shardeum, which was also sort of an expansion for Shardeum from just being India only to now going global. And the launch event worked out really well for us. We intend to, the future launches of our newer versions, we intend to have them in even more cities. Hopefully, the mainnet launch could happen in, I don't know, 20, 30, 40 countries. Let's see where we can reach for the next launch party. In terms of, I would say, the social and the community aspect of Shardeum, we've now become the second largest L1 Discord community with over 450,000 members. We definitely want to be number one, and the team is now pushing towards that. The community is helping grow the Discord community really rapidly, and I'm sure we'll be the largest Discord community amongst all the L1s very soon. We've also launched a community member of the month on Discord and Telegram. The objective is to identify and reward members who are active and who are helping the community, and this happens on a regular basis. Shardeum Leaks is something which has been ongoing, where the idea was, again, how do you give power back to the community in terms of creating new communities around Shardeum. And we've crossed over 49 Shardeum Leaks now. And it's spread across the world. There are leagues in Africa, Turkey, Japan, Vietnam, everywhere. The idea is to continue to expand that. Here's some images from different events that have happened. If you see the first image on the top left, there's a baby. It was my team says that that's the youngest participant in a proof of community event, and I think it was a surprise for everyone. But this is what community building is all about, and let's hope we continue to see participation from people from all ages in all of our proof of community events. So yeah, hope to see more people joining in early so that they can learn about Shardeum and decentralization. Here are some metrics. I wouldn't read all of them. These are some amazing growth metrics. We, despite the market sentiments, if you see, especially with all the the bear market that's ongoing, Shardeum has continued to grow rapidly. Our website traffic has consistently increased. We've got millions of people now. Our blog views have been increasing, and this is all thanks to the collaboration that's happening between everyone who's part of the Shardeum community. So these are your numbers. These are the numbers that have led that your hard work has led to. So thank you so much for helping grow this community. Yeah, you can change the slide. Yeah. So I would want to introduce Kelsey. She's joined us as the Chief Growth Officer. I think you've already, if you're very active, you must have heard about her. She's been participating in different events around Shardeum. Kelsey, over to you.
Thank you. And hi, everyone. I know I've met some of you already, but I'll introduce myself quickly to anyone that I haven't spoken with yet. I'm Kelsey. I'm so excited to be a part of this amazing community and team now. I'm based over in New York City, in Brooklyn, actually. And I started my Web3 career years ago at Consensus. So I've been really focused on community, experiential marketing, marketing strategies, comms, brand, everything under that big umbrella in Web3 for years now. After Consensus, I worked at Cello for a little while before joining CoinFund, a big Web3 investment firm, as their CMO for a number of years. So it's been wonderful over here at Shardeum so far. It's been, I think, a couple months now. And I'm really here to focus on building out our global presence. And we've already started attending and having more of a presence and building out our campaigns at US based events. One of our next stops will actually be at ETHCC in Paris, so please reach out. I'm also really focused on a brand refresh for us. So that means a slightly new look and feel, a new website flow. I'd sent out a survey on our Discord, and I'll actually share that again to give everyone one more opportunity to weigh in if you'd like around our brand. And I will also be really focused on building out our PR presence and getting us in the news and getting those comments. So, really excited, and I will speak with you all next time.
Thanks, Kelsey. Super exciting to have you here on the team. Next up, introducing Shardium's Head of Operations and Partnerships, Shazad Nathani.
Hi everyone, this is Shazad Nathani here. I head operations and partnerships at Shardeum. First and foremost, I want to thank the Shardeum community at large for all the good work they've been doing. The enthusiasm, the encouragement to the project globally is just phenomenal. Every event we go to or the messages we get from the community is just phenomenal. Like Nichelle said, this is your project and you're making it happen. So thank you very much again. From an operations standpoint, the Shardeum Foundation had its first Foundation Council meeting in Q1 2023. From a partnership standpoint, our team has been extremely active in the global conference circuit, and this is where we mainly make our connects and form the beginning of our outreach and relationships. We were there in Austin, Texas for ETH Austin and Consensus. Our presence was largely felt in ETH Tokyo, as well as we made quite a few acquaintances at the Foresight 2023 in Hong Kong. As part of our readiness and getting to mainnet, we are in talks with most of the major exchanges, and our goal is to go live with the top tier exchanges on TGE. You will hear more about this in the next quarter as we ink agreements. We're also working with several staking providers to help our community launch their own nodes through these services. We're working with top tier liquidity providers to ensure that the Shardeum token, SHM, is available across exchanges when we launch at our mainnet. Our focus and goals from a partnership and our ecosystem perspective remains to onboard as many projects as possible as we get towards mainnet. We have seen great traction here with projects from all sizes testing and deploying on our BetaNet. In terms of regions, US, India, and APAC remain our primary focus. It was amazing to see the traction here, especially at Consensus in Austin, where we met a lot of people from the APAC region. A lot of excitement, coming from that end. Also, in terms of segments, we have started onboarding a lot of projects in the gaming arena. Gaming lends itself naturally to Shardeum given the high TPS and scalability. We're also talking to a lot of projects in DeFi, payment networks, NFTs, etc., and several large Web2 projects that want to transition to Web3 using Shardeum as a platform. We will have some big announcements coming in. You'll hear things from Kelsey and Priyanka very soon as we get our agreements inked. With that, I would like to hand over the mic to Jeremy, or Greg would do that. Thank you very much again.
Thanks, Shazad. Next up is Jeremy Holloman, Shardium's VP of People. Take it away, Jeremy.
Thanks, Greg, and thank you, and hello to everyone for tuning in today. For those who don't know me, I'm Jeremy Holloman, Shardium's VP of People, and I'm excited to share some updates on our organization. We are now a team of 49, which is pretty exciting. We added 11 new team members since March this past year. While we've been pretty heads down, focused on expanding our engineering team's experience and capabilities, and will continue to do so, please keep an eye out on our job board and LinkedIn announcements as we start to open more roles across the whole Shardeum organization in the coming quarters. And also have a fun announcement here. We are building an advisory team here at Shardeum and are looking for Web3 experts across go-to-market functions and tech that can help drive our strategy and growth. please email or message me on LinkedIn if you know a good candidate for this. Really looking forward to the community helping us build this all-star team. And lastly, I'll also be at ETHCC in Paris next month with our team. And if you're going to be there and interested in meeting up and learning more about working at Shardeum, shoot me a note. Looking forward to chatting. And back to you, Greg.
Thanks, Jeremy. And wow, the people team has done such a great job, hiring some really amazing people here at the Shardeum Foundation. I remember, I think on our first update event at that time, we were somewhere around maybe, 12 or 15 people.
That sounds about right.
See us at 49 now, and have such talented people on the team is really fantastic. But thanks, Jeremy. My name's Greg. Again, I'm the head of ecosystem and fundraising here at Shardeum. With the ecosystem, our focus is really business development work to bring more applications and infrastructure into the Shardeum ecosystem, building on our testnets. If you're a developer, either building an app or an infrastructure product, please reach out to us. We'd love to support you and help you grow within the Shardeum community. Through all the events we're doing around the world, we're building such a massive community. I think there's been over 800,000 users on our testnets, and we would love to help promote your products to these users and help you grow your own community so you can have update events like this yourself for your project. Today, there's 115 projects that are in the Shardeum ecosystem. That actually was achieved by the end of Q1. And so the word projects is defined as applications and infrastructure products, wallets that work on Shardeum, or projects that have agreed to deploy on Shardeum and will be live prior to mainnet. During Q1, we announced new partnerships with various projects across DeFi, NFT, infrastructure, and various miscellaneous projects. Some of the DeFi projects we announced partnerships with are projects like Swapped Finance, Solus, Shardex, Chainhash, Synther, Zaid Finance, Chidex, Spathion, and Kana Labs. These are primarily AMMs or AMM aggregators with some unique use cases in there, like Solus, which is sort of a derivatives education product, which is really cool. In the NFT category, we announced partnerships with projects like Bandit, Point6, and Double Protocol. These are NFT minting platforms, NFT marketplaces, and a protocol to lend and rent NFTs. On the infrastructure side, Axelar at ETH Denver announced Shardeum as a launch partner for the Axelar virtual machine. Really amazing to have the opportunity to work with them. OKX Wallet, one of the largest exchanges in the world, their wallet team announced a partnership with Shardeum. ThirdWeb announced that it has added support for Shardeum. ThirdWeb's also known as one of the most popular and used developer infrastructure products in Web3. BitKeep, one of the top exchanges used by millions of users, primarily in East Asia, announced its partnership with Shardeum. We also have partnerships with companies like Crust Network, one of the popular file storage networks, Frontier Wallet, which is an amazing wallet based out of India with a really great user experience, and a new bundles product that lets you oversee your DeFi portfolio holdings and the value of those assets. Lighthouse Storage, which is a Protocol Labs portfolio company, a really great perpetual storage, file storage product on IPFS. Cypher Wallet, which is a Y Combinator portfolio company. They announced a partnership with Shardeum, and it'll be great to have their on and off ramp to SHM. If you don't know Y Combinator, it's really awesome to have a company that's gone through YC building on Shardeum. OK Contract, Link, and Fox Wallet are a few of the other infrastructure products that announced they're building on Shardeum. Some other projects include Aspecta, which is a very exciting developer identity and developer community platform where developers will have a profile that tracks their progress on GitHub and achievements in hackathons, and is a social platform where you can connect with other developers. We'll be integrating Shardeum to track developers' progress and activity on the Shardeum network. Luganodes, which is a popular staking as a service provider. They were the ZK EVM launch partner for staking, and will also be providing staking services for the Shardeum ecosystem. Zeev is another great node infrastructure company supporting Shardeum. Secure3 was announced as one of the security auditing providers for the Shardeum ecosystem. So our community will have access to a security auditing firm that's specialized in Shardeum and will help ensure your smart contracts are secure. WowTalkies and Mises Browser were a few other great products. And all of these companies in Q1 announced that they are building on Shardeum and will be live on Shardeum soon. Over Q1, we continue to invest in expanding our developer community. We sponsored hackathons such as Hack NITR, Your Hackathon, Social Fellowship Program, Hack for Bengal 2.0, Winter of Blockchain, Makeathon, Biddle for the Future, and Dapathon. I think over this time, we had interactions with hundreds of developers that were learning how to build on Shardeum and building products at these events. A majority of them were focused in India. We're very excited to continue to support and grow the developer community in India, and also start to expand it to new developer events in other markets throughout the world. Speaking of other markets, in Q1, we sponsored the Spawn Global Fellowship Program. Spawn Global is a cohort of blockchain clubs at some of the top universities throughout the US. And so during Q1, there were events in New York City, in San Francisco, in Boston, and Los Angeles, where Shardeum's branding and team was present at the Spawn Global events. And we also sponsored the University of Texas, Austin's blockchain club engineering team called Blockchain Labs, who built two projects on Shardeum that will be presented to the community soon. Throughout January to May, we hosted 20 developer missions. On average, in these missions, we're investing about $1,000 a month in bounties for the developer community to learn how to try new technologies in Web3 and gain experience building projects on Shardeum. So you're learning and earning income in the process. Our developer community on Discord grew to 1,440 developers, which is really fantastic to see the growth in the number of developers building on Shardeum. Those are the updates for the ecosystem. Next up, we have Shardeum's technical co-founder, Omar Syed. Take it away, Omar.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Greg. Really exciting to see the amount of growth and activity going on with the Shardeum project. But on the tech side, this past quarter one of 2023 has really been about running the validator nodes and joining, allowing people to join our beta net, the Sphinx network that we have up. There's been a lot of learning that we've gained from that, and I'm going to share some of the things that have happened this quarter along those lines. So at the beginning of this year in January, we implemented and demoed the automated access list generation feature. For those who don't know what an access list is, in a sharded network, the transactions are required to include an access list so that they can be routed to the appropriate shards. And Ethereum put out an EIP 2930 that defines the structure of the access list and how this should be implemented. And as far as I know, Shardeum is the first network that has ever implemented EIP 2930. And now we've also automated the process of generating the access list so that it's almost seamless for the developers, so they can deploy on their smart contracts on Shardeum, and they don't even have to change anything on their front end to have their front end create the transactions with the access list included in it. So that's like a really cool feature that has made it really easy for developers to deploy on a sharded network. Otherwise, on any other sharded network, developers have to think about where they want to deploy their contract and which shard and so forth. So that was a great feature that the team built and deployed that in January. Then we focused on building a really nice user-friendly dashboard for the node operators. And once we had that, we were able to deploy our beta net, which is the Sphinx network. And that was launched on February 2nd of 2023. And we just did not expect the amount of, community members running nodes. We thought maybe we'd get a couple hundred additional nodes joining the network, but we got I think over 20,000 node operators and running nodes out there and joining the network. And because of that, there was a lot of new things that we discovered, which we had not anticipated. And so we spent a lot of learning and, fighting fires and, trying to get the network to be more stable. And so along those lines, one of the first things that happened was, when we put out the software, we had a security issue that was reported with the validator dashboard, and the team really focused on that and got that fixed right away. And the person that reported that is actually now a member of our security team. So that was a really something that we didn't expect, but of course, these kind of things happen. And then, the users that are running the validator nodes, another thing that happened that we didn't anticipate was that they would be running as many validator nodes as they possibly can on their hardware. And so they're essentially kind of overloading their hardware by running lots of validator nodes. And that started causing a lot of issues in terms of the resources that were available for validator node. And the network itself was experiencing lots of issues. So we've been making incremental improvements to stabilize the network and fix things that we're finding related to these things. One of these is that sometimes the nodes run out of the number of open sockets that they can have, and that starts to cause communication issues between the nodes. And so we've been working on trying to fix that, because we can't directly set the OS limits on how many open sockets you can have on your validator. And so we have to now have some workaround in our validator code to deal with that. Let's see. And yeah, so another thing that we did this quarter was really focus on the tokenomics and how the SHM would be released. And so we actually had an event earlier for that, and we demoed the tokenomics dashboard, and that allows you to see, with different scenarios, what would happen to the supply of SHM over many years. And we've done simulations with various different scenarios for the price of SHM and the daily number of active validators and the issuance. And we find that it's very easy for the network to reach a stable supply so that there isn't too much inflation or deflation, and the number of SHM out there will reach an equilibrium. Let's see. And so some of the things that we have coming up, we're working on adding slashing to the nodes, and that will really help a lot. Well, it won't help too much in the beta net, but it'll help a lot when we go to mainnet, because that will prevent people from overloading the nodes and causing issues. We're also working on open sourcing more of the Shardeum software. We're planning to open source the Explorer code soon, so that'll allow people to, check that out and submit merge requests on improvements to the Explorer. Let's see. We're also working on making improvements to our join protocol. We didn't anticipate like 20,000 nodes running, in standby and hitting our active nodes with so many requests to join the network. And so we're having to look at how to improve that whole join protocols to reduce the amount of load caused. And let's see. Yeah, I think that's pretty much most of the things that we've got coming up in the pipeline for the next quarter. So back to you, Greg.
Thanks, Omar. Yep, I think in addition to what Omar mentioned, we'll also be expanding to more global blockchain conferences, as Kelsey mentioned. Our next event will be ECC in Paris, and there's various other events I'm personally excited about throughout the year. We'll be participating in more hackathons, and we're expanding our proof of community events globally. I think to date we've done a lot in India, in Nigeria, in Ghana, in Vietnam, and in the US, and we've had a few disparate meetups throughout other countries, but we're very excited about being able to support the community and help you become leaders in your communities, and give you resources to host events and educate your community on the benefits of Web3, and help grow the Shardeum ecosystem. So if you're interested to host a proof of community meetup or a workshop at your university, please reach out. We'll provide the resources necessary to take care of the venue and the food for that, and give you all the educational content. I think we can also expect the white paper coming soon, and the patents for the Shardist protocol that's being used to build Shardeum will be filed, so we'll be able to open source all of the code throughout the remainder of the time prior to mainnet. With that, I'll hand over the call to Nishal and Omar to talk about the timeline to mainnet.
Thanks, Greg. I think this is probably I think this is the most asked question, and it's expected, because our community has been growing so rapidly, and there's been just a lot of excitement looking forward to the launch of the Shardeum mainnet, and it's a journey, and everyone's part of it. One of the things that we've done with Shardeum is, as against what traditionally happens, where you have a finished product and then you give it to the community and say, please spread it for us. We took a different approach, which is, let's build this product together. And what you're experiencing right now is how products are built, and what are the things that go into it. And there are sometimes roadblocks. I think you face that issues sometimes with the testnet. Then the team realizes this because you tested it out, and then the team goes back to fix it and then pushes. If you see some of the updates with Sphinx, for example, I think what Omar was mentioning, we did not expect thousands of nodes to join. And when they did, we did uncover issues around that. And then the team went back and updated. And when the new update was pushed, we saw that everyone could join as nodes, and the network was far more stable than our first version. And we've been working on the stability since then. Having said that, we definitely have a roadmap to the mainnet, and we've already updated it on the website. But I think I would love Omar, if you can address the path to mainnet, and when do we intend to, like, what's our goal? When do we intend to go to mainnet? I think that'll be helpful for the community to know as well. So yeah.
Yeah, so this quarter we've been working towards getting feature completeness in terms of the RPC servers providing all of the expected endpoints that you would commonly find, like in the Ethereum and the EVM compatible networks. So as you know, but in parallel, we've also been working on other improvements. To our Explorer, to our RPC servers, to just the dashboard, and of course on the validators themselves. So this quarter, that's been our focus. Next quarter, in quarter 3, that will be focusing a lot more on the scalability aspects of it. Especially things like like what I mentioned, where the join protocol could be causing load. There's also lots of other things like that, where as the number of nodes in the network grows, they could cause scalability issues, and so we'll be addressing those. And then I think in quarter 4, and also some of it in quarter 3, as we open source the network and the community gets more and more involved, I think we'll start to really address any kind of security issues that are out there, where we will encourage the community to participate in helping to find bugs, reporting those bugs, and earning bounties. And that'll be the real big focus as we get closer and closer to mainnet. So our goal is always to try to get the network launched as soon as possible, but things sometimes take longer than you expect. But currently we're shooting to try to get this out by like quarter 4, and we're all incentivized. Our whole team is really the way our incentive structures are and things like that. We're all really highly incentivized to get to mainnet, and I know the community is really excited to see mainnet happen as well. But along the way, you will be getting quarterly updates from us, and we'll keep you posted on the progress, and you definitely will be seeing a lot of progress coming along the way. So
Thanks,
Great.
Nishal. Thanks so much. And I think like one important thing to mention is just the fact that this is a new blockchain that we're building custom from scratch. It's not like we're forking another chain and making a minor feature that we're trying to get out quick, like trying to get mainnet out quick. There's something to be said about building an innovative solution that tries to solve a lot of the problems that already exist in Web3 today, like the scalability and congestion challenges. And so with that, there's a long development cycle to build these new innovative features in this architecture. And it's a really great problem to have, that there's so many users and node operators that it's bringing up new bugs that we haven't discovered in the past. But the team is expanding, we're raising more funding, and we're continuing to come back quarter after quarter with progress in the technology. And very soon we'll be at mainnet, and things will become even more exciting.
All right, let's get to the questions. There's a lot of questions, but I think we're short on time, so we'll probably take questions for the next maybe 10 minutes or so.
Yep.
Yeah, let's see what are the questions in front of us.
The one question, Omar, is like coin transfer transactions have worked really well on Sphinx, but there's been some challenges with like the EVM functionality and smart contract functionality. When can developers in the community expect like to be feature complete with the EVM and be able to build the applications they want to build on Shardeum?
Right. Yeah. So in fact, we are like compatible with the EVM. Some of the issues that we're seeing now are really due more to the network load causing problems for the validators. Like I mentioned, there's been some issues with the number of open sockets running out and nodes not being able to communicate with each other properly. And so once we resolve these things, you'll see the more complex transactions being able to go through more smoothly.
Wonderful. Nishal, do we have any plans to expand in Spain, France, and the rest of Europe?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we would want to do that right away. So if anyone is from any of these countries, and not just Europe, but anywhere in the world, if you are in a country where you think people should get access to a decentralized, scalable blockchain which can operate at really low fees, you should help us tell them about Shardeum and help us spread the word. And we can do this together. So please reach out to us as well. We are happy to collaborate. We do not believe in like being the only people who take ownership of this and do it. This is a team and a community effort. So we would love to look for a lot of partners in different geographies. We started with India because India is where we understand the market, but for a true decentralized chain, it is global in nature, and everyone around the world should be able to access a decentralized network. So if you're from any of these countries, please reach out to us. We are available. You can write to us on email hi@shardeum.org, or you can get in touch at Discord or even on Twitter. Our team is very responsive. We are on Telegram as well. There's a Shardeum group on Telegram. So reach out to us. Tell us that hey, this is the idea. Let's probably grow in Spain. How do you grow? There are a few things. Our playbook that we've deployed in particular geographies. We could build a playbook with you in your particular country. So yeah, please reach out to us. We are looking for all the help that we can get to spread decentralization across the world.
Thanks, Nishal. Someone's been running their node for 4 to 5 months, and they're curious if we're planning to incentivize people who are running nodes on Sphinx.
So we do have plans for that. So I think the response has been so amazing without any incentives, which is great, and that shows how the community is motivated to help build a truly decentralized network. But we do intend to bring in incentives. In fact, we're also thinking ways to reward the ones who helped us until now, and also how do you figure out some incentives for the future. It's under development, and I think pretty soon we'll start announcing in phases. But yeah, there's definitely no promises. I don't want to make promises for obvious reason. We want to understand how this has been going, what are the kind of participation that has happened, and then build a program around that. But the work is already underway. We should be able to bring out something soon.
And if we do distribute rewards, will node operators be the only people who are rewarded, or are we considering rewarding other type of people as well? And I guess in addition to that question, are we planning on running any official incentivized type campaign?
So I think we intend to reward different parts of the community. Node operators is one part of the community. There's also people, and I think there are also in parallel there are already reward programs for different activities. Some of the more formal programs already exist, but we do intend to bring in rewards for the rest of the community, which includes the node operators. But it's not like node operators is the only exclusive reward option. There's anything that you do. We are constantly looking out for what sort of contributions come in, and then how do you reward accordingly. So it's throughout. For even for example, now that we are trying to open source, we're also trying to figure out how do we motivate more people to join the open source community, not just as devs, but also as people who can help us spread the word about what we're building in an open source manner. How do you contribute to documentation? Just writing about the fact that there's an open source opportunity to contribute. So it can be everything and anything. It's not restricted to the running the node. The second part of the question, which is will we have I'm guessing you're asking, will we have incentivized a test network? I think the appropriate time for that, what Omar mentioned is we are going to in Q3 we'll get into the scalability and the security part of things. So I think when the scalability testing starts is when we would definitely probably want to have a formal incentivized testnet just to test out what happens when a large number of people join as nodes in the network. Having said that, for whoever has been helping until now, like I said, there's still something in the works, and I can't talk about it unless it's done and it's out announced. But there's something already in the works, and in the future there will be an incentivized testnet, but that's only at the scalability stage.
Thanks, Nishal. And I think the Shardeum is Borderless program is a great opportunity for people who want to contribute to the Shardeum ecosystem and community, and help the project and earn rewards or bounties in the process. For people in the community that are looking for job opportunities, someone asked what type of roles we'll be looking to fill next. Omar, are there any sort of role you're looking to hire for over the remainder of the year?
Yeah, absolutely. We want to continue to, grow our tech team, and we're always looking for really talented people. If you've, won at hackathons or contributed to open source projects before or done something amazing, we're really looking for these kind of talented people. And yeah, we've got some postings up there on shardeum.org/careers. So I definitely encourage people to check those out and apply.
Thanks. And Nishal, any key positions that people should look out for to apply on your side?
Right now we are, expanding. Like I said, the positions are in two ways. One is direct hire. The other is, through the several programs. Right now, the team is focusing on the several programs, and we would love to expand that part of it. So anyone wanting to join it, in Shardeum, like create your own league, we can help. If you want to join as a super Shardeum to help organize proof of community events. So we're looking for people across different programs that exist and across the world. So yeah, please reach out if that's it. And like Omar mentioned, that's shardeum.org/careers, where new roles constantly appear. So you can keep an eye on that.
Great. And someone was asking about if there's accrued rewards claimable by validators, how can they be claimed without having to export the private key to use CLI commands? I think if you're talking about testnet rewards, just test SHM rewarded to the validators. There's a dashboard or a GUI that comes with the validator client, which you can access using your node's IP. Instructions are in the docs, and there you can see the rewards you've earned. You just need to unstake your validator, and when you unstake, the rewards will be distributed to your MetaMask wallet. Nishal, you mentioned the scalability stage in one of your prior answers, and someone wants to know, what is the scalability stage?
I think Omar can answer that, but I can answer, but Omar, you want to take this?
Yeah. So definitely, as you've probably already seen, like Shardeum is already like the first truly scalable smart contract platform that's out there, and we've demonstrated that adding more nodes to the network helps increase the throughput of the network and the capacity of the network. And so the next thing that we have to do is really push that to be able to increase the number of nodes that are participating in the network to higher and higher numbers. And so right now we're running like a network of 300 nodes, and you can see that periodically it may expand to like 600 or even seen like 800 nodes. And then, if the load is less, it goes back down based on our auto scaling feature. But, we want to eventually push this to tens of thousands of nodes and eventually to hundreds of thousands of nodes. And that's, those are, kind of things that we want to eventually do. But right now, we're at the stage that we could go to thousands of nodes in terms of the stage that we're at in terms of scalability.
Wonderful. So it sounds like we'll do some stress testing in the future and maybe come up with some creative incentives to, get even more validators and transactions produced by the community. I think people are really excited about the dashboard and are wondering, will we make any updates to the dashboard in the future? And if so, what's the timeline?
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely, plans to make a better UI on that dashboard. But this is definitely an area where the community members can help too, right? So the dashboard software is completely open source. You can see how the dashboard communicates to, get the information that it does. And you can completely change the look and feel of that dashboard if you want to. And so, yeah, we do have plans to do that, those kind of improvements as well. But we would love to see the community take that on and maybe present us some ideas on what they would like to see.
Wonderful. And there's a lot of questions about like how long this node operator campaign is going to be running for. I think the answer is that as long as Shardeum has a testnet live, as long as Sphinx is live, you'll be able to run your own node on Sphinx. And then when mainnet launches, it'll be the same exact experience, except the rewards you'll be earning will have real value. It'll be, mainnet SHM that's liquid, and also the stake requirement, will have value associated with it. But you should always be able to operate a node on Shardeum, and I think maybe some of the delegated proof of stake networks out there have sort of set a different precedent where people think I can run a node on testnet for a period of time, but may not be able to run a node on mainnet. That's not the case with Shardeum. You should always be able to run your own node if you have the stake required. Great. I think that covers all of the questions. Any final words, Nishal and Omar?
I think we're all excited, and I would love to thank the community for all the, I'd say, help they've been providing in spreading the word about Shardeum and growing the community. And let's continue to do that. The team is super focused on reaching the mainnet, and you you know I think every one of you has to help us by testing the network, which you've been doing, and it's been helping a lot. And let's continue to do that. I'm looking forward to the next update. And before that, we also plan to have a few mini updates with some of the important feature launches. We'll probably have a YouTube live session for the next feature update that's going to come up. Um, um, I don't know. I don't want to talk about the feature. We'll just announce. Then it'll be more exciting, I think. But yeah, we intend to do some smaller feature update very soon.
Awesome. Thanks, Nishal. Anything from you, Omar?
Yeah, I just want to say it's been really amazing and exciting to see the community growing. When I think back to, when I started this project as, the Shardist project back in 2017, I never would have thought that we would grow to a community this big someday. But it's really amazing. And, we're just getting started, I think, in terms of our real journey. And so, yeah, uh, want to encourage people to, join and participate and contribute. And if, also try to join our team, if you really feel that there's contributions that you can make, so definitely some exciting times coming ahead.
Awesome. Exciting times ahead. Thanks, guys, so much. And for everyone who's here today, we have a POAP we distribute at the end of every quarterly event. I think POAPs are really interesting. Who knows what utility this POAP that you mint right now could have in the future. So if you're here for the next 5 minutes, you'll only be available in the next 5 minutes to mint this POAP. Thanks again, everyone, for your time, and we'll see you next quarter.
Thank you.